What is going on, guys? It is your boy TK the Ones here, back again here on not Road to Dreams, not Road to Final Fantasy 7 yet. It is indeed Road to Part 2. We're back. I have seen the comments. I understand the anticipation is boiling, just like for the game Last was Part 2. And this is the dedicated Road 2 series, which kind of started the overall Road 2 series as well. Like, there would not have been a Road to Dreams without a Road to Part 2. So glad to have it back on the channel, of course, and this will be leading up to release on May 29th. And with me as well is a new host, indeed, the Starks. His whole unfortunate schedule, you know what I'm saying, as we all have busy schedules, you know what I'm saying, just his could not fit with the show, unfortunately. So he may be on for an episode here or two in the future, maybe, perhaps, I don't know. But for right now, I do have to have a new host, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, perhaps fortunately. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just unfortunate of the host changes. I keep talking. Nonetheless, the new host, the Arachknight, aka
Hello.
Arachknight, aka I don't know what else to call you.
Well, yeah, like my actual name. That's about it.
I mean, I was about to say your real name, but I didn't.
Yeah, I don't mind. I
didn't want to pull out your government. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you would like your government out there. You know what I'm saying? I know mine's a part of my branding, unfortunately. But
some way, like if God be with me, I get a career in this stuff. People are gonna know my real name eventually. So like, I'm not really afraid of it.
It's a fair point.
Yeah.
But we actually tried to do this last week. Hilarious story. My software decided to just turn on me for the day and completely not record the Arachknights end of the conversation and the end of the podcast. So it was quite upsetting. You know what I'm saying? I went to go do something. I came back, was gonna put it in Final Cut, ready to put some lapses footage on top of it, and I just heard myself. So there we are.
Tragic.
Hate to see it.
Tragic.
But here we are, take 2 of episode 25, Road to Part 2. So of course, with the new host here, I'm just gonna vet you on some questions. Now, these questions are the exact same ones I asked you the last time we recorded in the last episode. But what is your experience with The Last of Us? I guess I'll just let you interpret it however you want to interpret it, and you can go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. I had been a fan of Naughty Dog's games since like Uncharted 2, which was 2009. And I was really young at the time. So when I heard that they were doing this kind of post-apocalyptic setting and kind of like a zombie-esque thing, I was 13 at the time, and I was totally into it. Like, that was when I was really, really into the zombie phase. And I pre-ordered the game from GameStop. Complications happened, and I didn't get my collector's edition, but I did get a downgraded version of it. But I did still end up playing the game on release, and I just completely ignored everything else going on in the day, and I sunk so much time into the game. Like, day one, it was summer of 2013, and I didn't stop playing until morning. I got it at night, and I played it until 6, 7 a.m.
Yeah. It definitely came out at a pretty not odd time, but just very odd time in terms of E3, because it was right. It was right. I think in front of E3 or in the middle of E3.
I think it was the 13th. I think around the 13th. 13th of June.
I know it was definitely around E3, and that's what a lot of people were they were at E3 covering stuff, but they just wanted to go home and play Last of Us. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I remember that. I watched Chris Smoob's Let's Play of The Last of Us back in the day. Shout out to Chris Smoove. But so you would overall say that you enjoyed Last of Us, right?
Oh, very, very thoroughly.
Yeah. Definitely. Like I know in the lost recording we will continue to reference, because we are just essentially, you know what? This is episode 25 remastered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the remake. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
We lost It's kind of like we just lost all of Ellie's footage. Just we just cut her out of the game, and it's just Joel being angry.
It's like they did the whole export of the game. I don't know how games export. They went gold on Road to Part 2 episode 25, Last of Us, whatever, and they just forgot Ellie. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, hey, where is she? Where is half of the story?
I do. So you're Ellie and I'm Joel. Interesting. Very interesting. What's your hype level? What's your hype level for Last of Us Part 2? Actually, fun. Like, I guess fun aside as well. The homie Tajay Moment on Twitter, and also is a co-host with me on Save Slot Podcast on the channel. Make sure to go check out that. Episode 5 was released this week. Check that out. But he asked us what's our varying hype levels of Last of Us, Part 2, and I guess to answer that real quick on my end, then I'll let you kind of take the floor. I'm obviously excited, right? But it has gone down from like I'm cool with waiting, right? Just because there's like a lot of things to play that I've been looking forward to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just sitting. I'm like in the back seat of like the hype bus. You know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling, but I'm definitely on the hype bus. Where are you at, good sir?
Well, I like to elaborate on that. Like, I'm comfortable waiting as well, but I don't feel like that detracts anything from how excited I am to play the game. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm very excited to play Doom. I'm excited to play Cyberpunk. There's a lot of games coming out in between now and Part 2 that I'm excited to play, but I'm still like looking forward. Like, it is like a strong 7, but like I am fine waiting because I know that Naughty Dog is going to do an amazing job with whatever goes on in the game. Like, everything in the game is going to be up to that Naughty Dog level quality.
Right.
And that's why it's like, hey, it's it's like going to a restaurant you enjoy, like your favorite restaurant, and they say, oh, it's gonna take a little bit. Like, the food's gonna be great, so it's like, okay, I'll just chill. I'll wait here until it comes, and
Absolutely.
You're fine. Yeah.
Actually, okay, so it's even I kind of like that analogy as well, because like, at least, okay, so I'm a server, right? I think people on the channel know, but a good way to like alleviate a long wait from the kitchen or whatever is to simply just keep having their drink filled. You know what I'm saying? As long as the customer has a drink, they'll be a lot more chill with just waiting. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like our, quote unquote drink that we've been getting from Naughty Dog, is these little trickles of, these themes that we will talk about. People can play it at PAX if they go to PAX East, you know what I'm saying? Little tidbits of a new character as well. So like they leave around these cookie crumbs of information about the game, you know what I'm saying? That are not as big as like an appetizer. Like an appetizer I feel like would be like a beta. We'll never get a beta. But these like appetizers, kind of act as like the drink of us waiting at the table for Last of Us Part 2. You know what I'm saying? That was, of course. That was wow. Look at that analogy, man. Look at that.
Oh, look at us.
Huh? Wait,
who would have thought?
Not me.
Not me.
Dude. So speaking of these crumbs, you know what I'm saying? One of the unfortunate crumbs that we got leading up to this long wait of Last of Us Part 2 is the knowledge that we got around, I think it was October of last year of 2019. I think October, could be November. I think October it was. I'm pretty sure it was October. But we got the unfortunate news that factions will not be on day 1 on Last of Us Part 2. And I think explicitly now, with them kind of like having that statement after the fact, where everyone was freaking out over not being, not having factions in Last of Us Part 2, they reiterated and like said that they would be releasing some sort of side multiplayer game that will fill in the void of factions. It will be like a factions like separate entity, like a separate game. There's rumors that it'll be free to play. That's neither here or there. But did you enjoy factions in the original Last of Us?
I did, and I'm okay with the wait. Like it's kind of like a GTA 5, GTA Online kind of deal because there are some people, I don't know why or how, but there are some people whenever they play it, like they'll get it part 2 in their hands. It's like I'm gonna go straight into factions, and that kind of detracts from the story experience because some people won't play the story, and that's the pivotal point of these kinds of games. Like it is a storytelling game, and that's why like I'm not stressed about it. I'm cool with it, and that's why I thought like Grand Theft Auto did a good job with it. Is like, oh, if you don't want to play the story, just wait 2 weeks after release. No one's stopping you. If you do want to play the story and have GTA Online for free when it comes out, then you can do that too. But I'm excited to play Factions. I will play it, but I'm not gonna do anything else. Like once part 2 comes out, like I don't care what I'm doing or what I'm playing. I'm focusing on that. I'm gonna put everything I have into playing it and like getting through the story and getting through all that and like replaying it if I feel so inclined. And yeah, once I feel like I'm satisfied with my time in the story and the world and where everything leads up, then I'll start Faction.
Interesting. I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, how I was gonna do my day one of Last of Us Part 2 was definitely, of course, jump to the story. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna stream as much as I could of it, you know, and I will be streaming as soon as I get access to Part 2, the story, and you know, like soon as we're allowed to. You know what I'm saying? But I was gonna then, you know, end at like a pretty, you know, pivotal point in the story. You know, maybe play like 4 or 5 hours of the story and then hop into Factions. I was definitely gonna do that. I wasn't gonna, you know, but now we have no choice. I will be plowing through the story. You know what I'm saying? And I'm completely fine with that. But yeah, I love Factions. Factions is great. I haven't played in a few weeks though, so I will be probably recording gameplay tonight to put on top of this podcast. But if I don't, it'll probably be just trailers. But if I do get gameplay, I'm wondering how it's gonna turn out because I haven't played in a while. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So thank you for your comments on Last of Us. You know what I'm saying? Definitely appreciate your fondness of The Last of Us as a franchise, good sir. You know what I'm saying? I do want to quickly do a little bit of a news section catch up. Now, in between the original episode 25, the lost episode, if you will, and the remastered version that you're listening to right now, there was some news that Naughty Dog decided to share on their Twitter account. We talked about this a little bit on Save Slot, but I figured I'd bring it into this show. Make sure everyone, you know, make sure all the covered bases are covered. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Absolutely. So I'm just gonna read this tweet, and again, links are in the description. It says, "The Last of Us Part 2 arrives in just a few short months. Today, we're taking our first step toward launch by announcing LE Edition restock, hands-on at PAX East, new collectible statues and prints, as well as new key art and a free theme." And so I guess, I mean, you know, of course, if you were, were you getting the LE Edition? I don't know if you put in a pre-order or something or what.
Well, I got the collectors like a few months ago, and I looked at the LA edition, and the only differences between them is a backpack and a vinyl. Both are very, very cool, and I would love to have both. But the backpack, like, I would be too scared to use.
Yeah, 100%. I would not use it.
Yeah, and I don't have a record player. And so, and it's a, like, what is it, like a $70-$80 price jump for both?
I'm not 100%. I'm trying to think. I saw one of my friends on Twitter buy it today, and it was like, I think $280.
Yeah, and the collectors is like $160.
I see. Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. Dang. That's a
yeah.
lot. That's a lot. I mean, granted, like, I would want the backpack, but you're right. I wouldn't use it, and like the any other time, like the other time a game has had an edition that features a backpack, it was Infamous 2.
Yeah,
when that was coming out. Oh my god, I wanted that so bad as a kid, bro. I never got it.
The sling pack.
Bro, I would kill for that backpack. It was so cool looking. I love Infamous, but yeah. So you're gonna opt out on getting the LE edition, but
I am. unfortunately.
Hate to see it, but it is nice that for those that didn't get it on the first round of stock, now you can try and snag it for a second time, and you can have another opportunity to do it. I believe they opened the ordering this morning. Actually, I believe I think it was this morning as of recording. So I'm not sure of the availability of it right now, but you can go and attempt to do that. But the main thing I wanted to talk about this whole thing was that theme. Now, we both need to do our part and make sure we redeem this theme because it's dope. It's a really, really cool theme. It's cool.
We have a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's until 2021.
Oh, okay, that's great. All right. We got plenty of time.
Yeah, I'll
I
still
thought it was
forget
gonna be
though.
less. 100%. It'll be like the last day, I swear. But it's a dynamic theme, and what's interesting about this one is that a few games have done this, but not many, right? So what it is that this theme is also checking the internal clock of the PS4 that it's on, right? Or of course PS4 Pro. But this theme, I believe the cutoff is 5 p.m. and 5 a.m., right? When the time crosses 5 p.m. or 5 a.m., it'll transition from a light version of the theme where it's Ellie playing the guitar in like she's on the ground leaning up against this tree, very, very peaceful looking daytime theme. Yeah, serene. I actually prefer this theme than the dark mode, which happens when the PS4 goes at 5:01, or I believe right at 5 o'clock. Doesn't matter. It'll go into this nighttime dynamic mode where it's her holding a machete, and there's seraphites in the woods behind her, seemingly trying to look for her, hunting her. So, and it seems like this dark. I actually just thought about this. This dark mode type of theme version is it seems like it's out of the E3 2018 gameplay demo.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we see the guy with the hammer in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the girl behind him, is the one from Paris Games Week as well. The one that holds the knife up to the stomach of the unnamed woman who we think is Anna. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. But yeah, make sure to go snag that theme. It's a very, very cool one. I probably won't use it, but I also just want to have it. You know what I'm saying? I might use it here.
I just bought one like not too long ago. I bought like 2 themes. I think I bought like the Last of Us 2 grunge theme.
Nice.
And I got a Doom Eternal theme.
Dude, I can't wait for Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
God damn. That's also in between. Yeah. That's on the way to Road to Part
March
2.
20th.
But who's counting?
I am. I got the collectors for that. I'm waiting. I've been playing through Doom 2016 on Ultra Nightmare.
You psychopath.
It is rough.
You're indeed a psychopath. And it just I figured, would it be a good idea, Ark? I think I'm calling you Ark. I think Ark's a good one.
Knight works. I don't really know. Whatever works.
Arachknight, something like that. Do you think it'd be a good idea for me to read the code for the American regions and the European regions out loud on the podcast? Would that be a sizable thing? I mean, the link will be in the description. But
yeah, we could read them out, or we could just put them in the description, because this is a podcast. People will just be listening to this, and
Absolutely.
if they wanted to go back,
I mean,
just
or
plug it in as we read them. Yeah, or we could do both.
It might be really fun if we went back and forth per letter. You know what I'm saying?
No.
No, okay. Let's keep it.
I'm gonna flub it, and then we gotta go all the way back to the beginning. Like
I'm gonna have like, what's it called when the letters dyslexia? Is that it?
Yeah.
No,
When confuse letters for one another.
Letters jumble up. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? We're not gonna do that. Links in the description. If you want us to, let us know in the comments, and we'll do it next week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You never know.
If anything comes out, like any other codes, we'll do that next time.
But another thing happened. So this news bit happened over the break, over winter break, right? Of Road to Part 2. While the show was in hiatus. You know what I'm saying? It was dormant, if you will. we got the announcement of a new character in Last of Us Part 2. We don't know who she's playing in the game. We just know that this actress is in the game. Her name is Chelsea Tavares, I think is how you say her last name. Could be wrong, but I'm going to go with that. And I would like to just read her tweet out to you all, if I may. So she says, so happy to be a part of this dope ass cast and this dope ass game. I know it's been a long time in the making, but it's worth the wait. Can't wait for y'all to see my character. Hashtag The Last of Us Part 2. Hashtag Naughty Dog 5/29/2020 at Naughty Dog. And this was on December 30th. So right on the new year was when this got announced and everything. So, and you know, I mean, I don't know if your particular taste of attraction, if I may. You know what I'm saying? But
you're gonna gush about it this time too.
I am. I mean, I did it in the original, but why not remaster the praise?
Double it down, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm you know, like I'm like Joe Budden, here to double down, hear me and hear me good. You know what I'm saying? It's not a 2-pack of ass. She's gorgeous, if I may. You know what I'm saying? You know, I like the curls. I like the sweater. I would like to. You know what? If I ever get a sweater like that, I will be recreating this exact post.
Oh boy.
And posing the exact same way. I'm gonna do it. I promise. I'm gonna do it. So if I can get my hands on The Last of Us Part 2 hoodie, I'm gonna recreate this. Also, how dare someone? Huh? Yeah. What? Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, like we'll add her. We'll show her. Like, come on the podcast. We'll get her attention that way.
Now, funny how you said that. You know, try to get her on the podcast because she posted another post February 2nd. It was the night of the Super Bowl. You know, I'm gonna just be honest here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest. I was indeed a little bit intoxicated. A little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit, right? And I saw her post this selfie, right? So I figured I'd just, you know, at her on the timeline publicly, and I asked her just a simple question: who are you in Tilu 2? You know what I'm saying? That's it, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then she replied, folks, by saying, "You gotta play the game to find out, winky face." So I mean, listen, I'm not saying I secured the bag, but I'm pretty close to securing the bag. All right, I'm gonna give me okay. So based off of this little interaction I've had, right? How close do you think I am to DMs realistically?
She gave you the link. She did. I may not be very good at reading signals, but when has that ever stopped me before?
Oh, LMAO. I'm gonna say, give me a year. No, it's too long. Give me by the end of this year, so like eight months or so, something like that. But you know, and then then I said more importantly, can at PS Source Viz interview you about the role? Come on Road to Part 2, the biggest Last of Us podcast making a return. That was supposed to be that week, but of course that was the original Lost Tapes. Hate to see it, but so there's been a lot, of course, of speculation as to who this actress is playing in the game, and you know, I figured that, you know, we have a few you know, speculative things that you know, we think it could be, you know, but I would like you to just kind of just go first because I feel like I'm talking for a while.
No, you're good.
But who do you think she's playing?
It's hard to say at the moment. Like I know last week we talked about like what we would want to see, like but it is definitely hard to see. Like there's a lot of secrecy. Like if that, like Naughty Dog is very good at that. Like I can't remember if ever there was like any leaks or anything that like shouldn't have been said about story development or characters or, you know, character moments.
Yeah. There's sorry, go ahead.
No. All I was gonna say is like especially in a game like this, like The Last of Us has become like tied to the Naughty Dog name, so they're going to be holding this very, very close. And I wouldn't expect it. Like I wouldn't expect any slip ups. So it's all up to interpretation
Yeah.
and just trying to guess what we would see her as.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree because I feel like definitely in terms of Naughty Dog, right? Like we have game leaks all the time, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Right. Assassin's Creed gets literally leaked every time. And it's not even by someone, it's just by them. They just leaked it, you know what I'm saying? But
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. A ton of stuff gets leaked, but it's really rare for something to come out of Naughty Dog that didn't come out officially. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like think about how many surprises were in Last of Us that we did not hear of leading up to release. Like they straight up lied about Ellie being playable in interviews. You know what I'm saying? Like they will go to that length and they will lie to that extent to cover the game. You know what I'm saying?
Well, she was playable in Winter for a brief moment.
No, that's what I'm saying. People asked Naughty Dog before the game
they said
came
no,
out.
she is not playable.
Yeah, if she was playable, and they said no. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, my bad.
Yeah. It's all good. But they definitely will lie to an interviewee or whatever, you know what I'm saying, to cover up big things in the game, which I think is great, but not here or there. We did have in the same interaction that I was trying to, get her to tell me who she was in Last of Us Part 2 and possibly get a DM, you know what I'm saying? We had a Twitter user at me and her, that's not her at, but at myself and Chelsea. Her name, with the at is Connor. Let me see, Connor Army 27, and this individual on Twitter said, "Well, there is someone named Kat, Ellie's ex-girlfriend." So, I was trying to scour the internet before I started this podcast. I was trying to look into every nook and cranny of any reset era thread from Last of Us Part 2, and I could not pinpoint anything about a person named Kat who's Ellie's ex-girlfriend in Last of Us Part 2. So, I don't know. That was just a random Twitter thing. I could see it. I mean, would you want her to be an ex-girlfriend of Ellie and kind of have that little side thing going on, or what do you think of that?
It feels derivative. Like after doing some thinking after last week, it's because we in Left Behind in part 1 we got Ellie and I forgot her name.
I know who you're talking about, but I forgot her name too.
The girl, the first kiss in the DLC.
Yeah.
And she died, and that affected Ellie, and that's how she got bit, and that's what led into part 1 and the development of part 1, the story. Then we have another girlfriend in part 2, perfectly natural, not forcing anything. That's not what I'm trying to imply.
Dina.
It's just
Dina. Shout out to Dina.
Yeah. I just don't want I don't want Ellie's human conflicts to be just within the realms of romance.
Right. Interesting. Huh.
Because we have Joel as her kind of center.
Right.
Like a father figure-esque.
Uh-huh.
But when it comes to other characters, when it for major impacts onto Ellie and her development as a character, it's just I don't want it to be just romance. It's Ellie was turned a little, she became more mature and tougher after the first death, and now an ex-girlfriend okay, if she's an ex-girlfriend, then it is within reason to be to assume that she will be part of the Seraphites.
Oh wait. Oh
yeah,
huh.
It's
wait. Oh, so, I mean, just knee jerk for me. I was just thinking that she would be at Tommy's settlement, and with the whole crew of Jesse and Dina and Ellie and stuff like that, and them going on patrols. That's what I figured. But you place her as an ex-girlfriend on the Seraphites.
Because it feels like, I don't know, like Chelsea, like if Chelsea's in the game, like you have to play the game to find out who this character is. Like she kind of has like this like presence, at least to my perspective, of being a significant character in the story. Because if she was just a minor character, we would have seen her somewhere.
Right. Right. And
So
and
yeah,
and I do feel like, you know, I think we both agree that her role, whoever she's playing, seems to be something of a bit of importance because of, you know, her not even naming her yet. There's also the tone of like, you know, just keeping kind of like, she seems very, very dodgy, not only because she you know, told me to play the game to find out, but I feel like, I don't know, because like we've gotten a reveal, you know, of the actress that plays Dina and I believe the actor that plays Jesse as well. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I know we know the actress that plays Dina, and we know that the character that she's portraying is, you know, named Dina in the game, but we know nothing of the character that's being played by Chelsea here. So I feel like Naughty Dog giving her the clear to announce that at a very odd time, you know, in the middle of break where a lot of, you know, outlets are not in at the moment because it was December 30th. It was literally New Year's. So I feel like her role is going to be important to some degree.
Yeah.
In like a much bigger way than just being like a side character and, you know,
yeah,
something like
I agree.
That.
It's
very interesting.
I just like, I don't know, because we have like Last of Us Part 1, like it was like there were no cues of romance other than some tension between Joel and Tess.
Right.
And it's a very like father-daughter based story when it comes to relationships and emotional investment, is this father and his daughter.
Right.
And we had like, it was like familial, like that was the center theme to me about Last of Us Part 1, is that we had Henry and Sam, they were family and they both tragically died. We have Joel and Ellie, we have Tommy and Joel, and there's tension between everybody around them, but Joel and Ellie are each other's rocks, like they keep each other center.
Right.
And so in part 2, like it seems like it may start out as like romance centered, and then it will go back to family because of Joel's introduction in one of the trailers. Like, because it seems like this is just something that like Ellie can't do on her own.
Interesting.
I just don't want it to be like too dependent on the conflicts that arise from romance and all that, because we've all seen stories, like good stories, be impeded by focusing too much on a romantic narrative.
Right. Like, I would argue the prequels for Star Wars in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That one not so much, but I do feel you on that.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. Now, we do have on the notes that, you know, we did discuss like a potential beef between her and Dina if this character ends up being the ex-girlfriend of Ellie. I don't know if you had any comments on that you wanted to share. Like, I think there could be interesting there. I don't want to like heavily lean and on them having a beef. I feel like that's a little bit cliche, you know, and like a little bit like
love triangle.
Yeah, like I don't know if I necessarily want a love triangle ish, and like they have done that in their games before, like with Nathan, Chloe, and Elena in Uncharted 2 a little bit, even though it was kind of just one sided. Like it was more of like, you know, Chloe was into Nate was into both, Elena was kind of into Nate. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole thing is not really a complete triangle, but nonetheless. So they've really done that. But how do you feel about a potential beef? Go ahead.
Sorry for like mumbling.
Nah, that's cool. It's cool.
With beef, like it, I don't know. Like I feel like it could cause tension, but not in the way of Uncharted 2. Like if I'm just gonna double down on the theory that she's part of the Seraphites, it could spark a debate between Ellie and Dina. It's like, oh yeah, why did you date one of them? And then it causes conflict between those two, like where they barely talk to each other, like Joel and Ellie did. What was it like in the summer, like late summer?
For which
Or
one? For what?
part one, or was it spring? Like there was a part in The Last of Us Part One where Joel and Ellie were very awkward. That wasn't the very beginning where they were getting to know each other.
You mean where they got in that fight where?
Oh yeah, it was
Ellie,
fall. It was fall.
Ellie steals the horse from Tommy's camp.
Yeah, it was fall. It was
that
fall.
whole thing. Yeah. You are treading on mighty thin ice there. I love that
yeah.
quote. That's my favorite quote from Joel. You are treading on mighty thin ice there. Oh, I love it.
Troy Baker.
God, what a damn man. You're right.
He came out of nowhere and is just like an unstoppable force in the gaming industry now, and I'm here for it.
It's just very humbling to see someone so much more talent. Like I have no talent. Let me put that out there,
bro.
Right? I'm just taking up everyone's air and not utilizing it at all to the best of my ability whatsoever. Right? I'm purely useless. But to see someone so talented, it's just like, damn. You know what I'm saying? But and the notes here as well. Well, yeah. So I guess that's how I'll end that checkpoint. Is that I don't necessarily want there to be like a super pronounced love triangle. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And I think we both kind of like align on that point where we don't want, and we also don't really think that part 2 is going to heavily like focus on the aspect of love, you know, because they have said in the past plenty of times that Last of Us Part 2 is about hate. It is about hate. You know, like that's what this story is about. Like it is going to be brutal. It's going to be a lot worse than Part 1, and it's about hate, period. You know, so we'll see what that means. But I don't think they would say that and include some heavily big focal point that's a romance. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. But another thing that we jotted down in the notes in the doc for episode 25 is there some way that this mystery character is connected to Marlene, and the only tie we have to that, you know, is the skin tone, right? It's seemingly now trying to remember, wasn't there a character in Uncharted that played an opposite gender? Not gender. Excuse me.
Like Nadine?
Wasn't it Nadine? Isn't she a different ethnic Isn't she white? Isn't her actress white? Or am I completely wrong on that?
I don't believe.
I think I'm wrong on that. I think I'm talking out my ass. I remembered something like that. I think, but I could be.
Well, Laura Bailey, you're absolutely right.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, right. I should remember that. Dang, yeah. Nadine, played an African American character in Lost Legacy and Uncharted 4, but of course Laura Bailey, you know, being that nice Caucasian skin tone, you know what I'm saying? Love to see it, right? Could they be doing the same thing here? Like maybe it's a complete juke, and you know the skin tone of the real actress has no bearing on the character that she's playing in Last of Us Part 2. You know what I'm saying? Like Chelsea, obviously, it seems to be Native American. I don't know, but seems to be Native American. No, wait, what? The Native American? What am I saying? I meant African American. God. Why did I say Native American? She seems to be of an African American descent, solely based off the skin tone. Could be wrong. Honestly, she could be Dominican for all I know. She could be whatever, but she has a dark skin tone complexion, right? So, right. But I mean, with bringing up Nadine, perhaps she could be just playing a white character in Last of Us Part 2. You know what I'm saying? But if she does end up keeping her skin tone in her character in The Last of Us Part 2, is there a chance that she could be connected? She could be connected to Marlene in some way, in some form, shape, or fashion. You know.
Well, even her skin color like doesn't signify that she's connected to Marlene. Like.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
It's not
like
the, yeah.
I'm just saying like from a pre-game release standpoint, right?
You just
Like
like whatever threads we got.
yeah. I'm solely just looking at that one thread that is very very weak and could be very very snapped at any moment. You know, that's all. I'm just
Yeah, like it's not like the Fireflies of the Black Panthers. It's like we got like in part one, like we had like Henry and Sam, like they were African American.
right.
We had characters like throughout the story. Like the world in The Last of Us was very diverse. Like
Yeah. I'm definitely not saying it's not. I was just pointing and to see if like they could like if there's a way this new character that's played by Chelsea is tied to like a different character that we've seen already in the Last of Us lore, you know.
yeah.
And like maybe like she, you know, could be a potential daughter of Marlene. But I think when we were recording the original version of this episode, you mentioned that's nearly impossible because Ellie was raised by Marlene
Yeah.
with her mother dying at a very very young age. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
there's no way that
She
Ellie,
wouldn't recognize.
yeah, or maybe she hasn't seen her in a long time, and that's where they reunite in part two. I could see that, but then it feel like a similar thing to when they introduced Nathan's brother in Uncharted 4, and I was like, huh, kind of odd. You never really mentioned that anywhere, but okay, you know.
Yeah,
So.
like they did it well in Uncharted 4. Like they did it very, very well. Like Sam, like when I like just a quick tangent. Like when I heard that Sam was gonna be in Uncharted 4, I was like, oh, they're running out of ideas. Like you're just throwing in the long lost brother, and then it's like, oh, and then after playing it, it was like, okay, Sam is one of my favorite characters in the series now.
Yeah. I feel overall they definitely did it well. Definitely did it well for that standpoint. You know, even though Amy Hennig wanted him to be the antagonist of Uncharted 4, but
I'm glad Nate got a happy ending.
yeah. But what are the chances that she belongs in the timeline of like Lev and Yara from the Paris Games Week trailer? You know, from 2017. And as you enter this, I'm gonna enter the door real quick, and I'll be right back. That works?
Well,
all right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, the timeline, like we don't know a lot of information regarding the timeline in The Last of Us, so it's like I want to be very careful because like theories and it's like, oh yeah, this is what I believe and this is what I think is going to happen is a very delicate game, because if you get it right, it's like, let's go, I got it right, like hire me, Naughty Dog.
Hire him, absolutely.
It's like or if you get it wrong, it's like, wow, I was dead wrong. So I want to be careful when I speculate about these things.
Right. And like I'm sure everyone here knows that like, yo, the majority of Road 2, if we're not talking about news, it is all speculation. It is all just, you know, just us talking about this game up until release, you know. So obviously take that with you every time you listen to one of these Road to Part 2s. But you may proceed.
So it's like when it comes to like the timeline, it like I don't know, I don't feel like I have enough in order to place where she would be or where this timeline goes, because there's a big gap between part 1 to part 2, and we don't know how long part 2 lasts. So
it's actually about 5 years actually. Yeah, that's been
the gap. No, I mean like part 2, like story wise, like you could do a lot in 5 years, like as a development from teenager to adult for Ellie, and like, you know, characters, like getting to know characters and all that, like, and
right.
it's just, if the story is about hate, like this is gonna be like a deep hatred.
I know you were kind of saying something like that similar when we first attempted to record episode 25. It was that you would like to see this mystery character be some sort of antagonist, be some sort of bad person in this story. You know, do you still feel that way?
Yeah, like maybe it doesn't have to be with like disemboweling bad, but like just
I mean, screw it. Do it.
why not? Like let's just go all in. I would like to see something like I don't know, like I don't want to sound like a whack job or something, but like it's when I heard it's like, yeah, this is gonna be a story about hate. It's like as weird as it sounds, that's kind of refreshing.
No, I mean, I definitely feel you on that. Like in terms of like you like want an experience to like wow you, you know, and not like a lot of and we don't really have a lot of games that like, you know, where the devs are gonna come out and say, hey, like this game is about hate. Like the things that you're about to experience in this game, they revolve around hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that look like? And like, especially what does that look like in the world of Last of Us? You know,
Yeah,
in this world that's already like unforgiving and brutal.
If I had to put hate into one scene of The Last of Us, it would definitely be the scene in Winter. Like
Yeah,
after
absolutely.
Ellie escapes and gets the machete on, I think his name is Nathan.
Oh, I know it was played by
But Nolan North.
Nolan North, but I forgot the name. Crap, I forgot his name, but Nolan North.
Yeah, like Nolan North's character, and when Ellie just wails on him with the machete.
Insane.
Yeah, that is hate. That is visceral anger. And as much as that scene was very, very emotionally powerful for the reasons of Joel finally embracing his like surrogate daughter, and just like the unforgiving nature surrounding the world of The Last of Us, because they were going to kill her, they were going to eat her, and she was just not having it. It was incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think so? So when you mentioned that you wanted this new character played by Chelsea to be an antagonist character, like a bad character, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want her in the Seraphites, I mean.
Yeah, like
Interesting.
bringing another game into reference, Jedi Fallen Order.
Love it. Love to see it.
I'm not sure. Like the game has been out for a few months now. I'm not sure.
Spoilers ahead for, we'll say, 30 seconds.
Yeah,
on
we'll just
Jedi
say
Fallen Order.
Yeah, we're just gonna 3, 2, 1.
Spoilers.
The second, spoilers are right now. The second sister, going in, turn mute it right now. But Trilla.
Yeah.
I would like to see that, having a direct relationship with the characters that you don't know at first, and then seeing as oh yes, wait, this character that meant a lot to one or two of the characters in the story is the main antagonist of the entire plot.
Right.
And it's wait, this is actually really, really cool.
Yeah.
And seeing somebody like that, like Ellie versus a Trilla-esque character, I feel could be something that you could really delve up upon, as what separated them, what caused them to hate each other so much, why, and the questions of why and what became of it would be very, very interesting for me to see. Spoilers are over, by the way. So yeah, we're good with spoilers. I'm done with that. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. I wanna see, I love stories that push a character to their limits.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Ellie. She deserves the world, but this world ain't it.
Yo. Oh man, so God, just the things that are gonna happen in part 2, dude.
Yeah, we got Joel getting impaled by rebar in part 1. It was so good. He got up with just pure willpower. That interrogation scene in Winter in general.
Do
I think
you?
was
No.
my favorite part.
Oh, 100%. Bro, when he shoves a shiv down someone's knee and pops the knee out of its placement to get him to mark on the map where the hell Ellie is, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, bro?
Yo,
bro, it was fire. It was fun. You know what? Okay, now that we're kind of like rounding out and kind of ending off here, you know what I'm saying? Before we get to the final question that I have for this road to part 2, right? I did want to talk to you about how we feel about looking at the Last of Us game, breaking it up into like 3 or 4 sections, playing through it, and then discussing it in 3 to 4 episodes back to back. Doing like a playthrough,
like a spoiler cast kind of deal.
Yes, yeah.
I would love that.
Okay, I think we should plan that, as well as I have not played Left Behind yet. I'm saving it to play it for this podcast.
Bro, you gotta get on that.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that was like 6 years ago.
I know what happens in it, but I'm just saving it. Maybe throughout the month of April. You know, maybe
like
throughout the month of April. Yeah, like we'll like that whole month we'll play through The Last of Us. You know, just little bits every week. You know, leading up to part 2. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. I would like to.
I've been meaning to replay it. Like I haven't replayed it. I think I replayed it in the summer of 2017.
I played it. Oh my god, I played it in the summer of 2018.
Oh yeah. I always played it in the
2018.
summer. I always played it like it does. I know like the seasons change throughout the game, and it's not like that kind of deal. But The Last of Us is like it left such an impact when I was a kid. When I was 13, and it left. Like I can tell you the second that I got the game, the second I put the game in the PlayStation, and when I started installing it, what I was doing, what I was wearing. I know that's dramatic, but like
no.
I love video games. I love these kinds of games, and I knew from the second that I saw the trailer back in the day that I would love this game.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it left such a profound impact on me, as like someone who enjoys games, as someone who loves stories and storytelling, someone who enjoys like even the minute details of animation and graphic development. Like just seeing Naughty Dog refine and perfect and optimize a craft such as this is remarkable, and is something that I'm very, very happy to talk about and discuss and to be part of, like analyzing on what makes a game like this like so special to people like me, people like us that enjoy these types of games amongst the dozens of games that come out, like even just this year.
Right.
It's they have a way, like you have a ton of different options. Like it's in a game like this, like that, a game that keeps you thinking, keeps you involved. Like if you're not thinking, you're probably going to play something else, because there have been games that have been cool, but then the cool just becomes routine. You need something to justify the action. You need storytelling to move you through the action. You don't want the action just to be the main part of the game. Like you want justification for everything you do.
Yeah.
And Naughty Dog, and especially The Last of Us, does that masterfully.
As Joel says, it can't be for nothing.
It can't be for nothing.
It can't be for nothing. And I say we'll call this the remastered episode 25. I think went over great. If I say so myself. You know what I'm saying? Absy Roundout, where can the people find you, good sir?
All right. Well, I am on the PlayStation Source Discord. My name is the Arachknight. I will be there. I talk about games, movies, comic books, all that on there. You can find me on Twitter at Orly_Macias, ORLY_MACIAS. I am there. I talk about video games and comic books there all the time. So
links in the description as well. Links in the description for his stuff as well. So
yeah, thank you. So it's like I will be on the Discord talking with everybody there, like discussing details, because we have categories for not just The Last of Us but games in general. like with the other podcasts and the other Road 2 series. And I know you brought it up earlier, but I'm bringing it up real quick right now. I will be the lead. If there is an Infamous 3, we are making a Road 2. Like I will do that.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen anytime soon. But I wish, but I wish, man. That hurts my soul, man. I swear.
I could, we could do a podcast just on Infamous. I could do a podcast.
100%, bro.
I love that series.
Oh, easy. Easy, bro. Easy. And speaking of the Discord that you were bringing up, link to that as well in the description. There's also a game section there where you can talk about Last of Us in there. Maybe, we'll probably utilize that a little bit more. How about if you have any questions for us, feel free to leave it in that Discord chat or leave it in the comments below of this episode. Yeah. Feel free to go do whatever you may. As well as, of course, down below in the description, you can find our Twitter as well. Follow us on there at PSOursVids. As well as, of course, leave a like on the podcast if you enjoyed it, as well as hit subscribe to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Also, before we head out, if you are watching this on YouTube, you can also go down below in the description to find an anchor link where you can find our show on other podcast services, that being, of course, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts, Spotify, all the good stuff. All you gotta do is follow that link down below or search PlayStation Source podcast feed in your favorite podcast service. So you can do all that. And so thank you all for watching, and as always,
greatness awaits.
I was gonna say, I'm like, did he forget? I don't know.
I got you.
You know what? I'm gonna put it in the doc because I do it for save slot, but I'm gonna put it in the doc.
Yeah.
That way we know. All right. See y'all next week. Later.